Good afternoon. It is Tuesday, November 30th. Skipped yesterday, gamed with my buddies, it's fun, and I finished up the leftovers, which means I need to get food. But I do have that chicken that I got from Costco, so I'm just going to Walmart. I'm gonna get the what I need for buffalo chicken dip, and Walmart is where I get the chips that I like for that. So heading here and get the rest of the stuff for it. So not really a full grocery trip yet. I'll do that in a few days still, but get what I need and then home to watch a movie. So I got home and I have I've prepared buffalo chicken dip. I'm gonna get that in the oven. Get it cooking. That'll be going for dinner. And as for a movie to watch today, I've decided I will watch Fantasia. I recall liking Fantasia. As a kid, I liked parts of it and not others. I liked some of the cool animation. There were scenes in between it that I didn't quite get. Older, still being 10 plus years ago, I recall appreciating a lot more of it. Also, just some of the knowledge I have of it, particularly from like bonus features on the Blu-ray. Like it was, because Disney, traditionally, they had silly symphonies, of which Warner Brothers parodied for Looney Tunes. But Disney had silly symphonies, and it was how they would practice new things. It would be doing an animation to a bit of generally classical music. And it was how they would learn and practice new animation skills. And you can go back and look at some of those, like as they're needing to learn different things. It's the same kind of thing Pixar does. I don't know if you ever noticed that. We think of Pixar as, oh yeah, they're great. And then they also, they do the cool shorts. They're not doing the shorts for no reason. They're doing the shorts because they're practicing things. They're practicing how to make people or fur or whatever it is. It's a project to work on so that they can get good at it before working on the feature. So, in the same vein, Disney had silly symphonies. Well, Fantasia is that kind of idea. It is, let's try out new animation ideas and concepts and methods. Hone our skills, and we're just going to do it to some music, because it gives us a structure. And it makes for a releasable product. Like, one of the things I remember is the dinosaurs. That whole scene. And there's all these volcanoes going off, and so there's these big plumes of smoke coming up from them, and it's ink in water flipped upside down. They took like a fish tank and they filmed into it, dropping ink and the way that it dropped and spread out, and then they flipped that upside down and they put that on as their animation. It's brilliant and it's innovative, and it's the kind of thing that they were learning and figuring out still. I love traditional animation. Although some of the stuff I don't know if in first Fantasia, I know in Fantasia 2000, is them trying out some more digital animation, which I'm not as big a fan of, but I like it as a tool in the toolbox. I don't like it as the way that the entire feature is made. But I'm a big fan of traditional animation, and this was Fantasia. Somebody going on that side is definitely, in part, the practice and display of skill of traditional animation. I usually don't read off the box until the end, but it says right here on the front, Fantasia is timeless. Walt Disney. Yeah. Yeah, it is. So, I'm gonna watch Fantasia. And Fantasia is a quite good movie. But it's one that's hard to pin down a rating for, in the same way that Meaning of Life was hard to pin down a rating for. It's a series of individual skit pieces, individual segments grouped together. So I hope to do better and not feel like I've misrated it moving forward, like I do with Meaning of Life. I think, taking note that it is enjoyable, but it's definitely, it's a different kind of, you have to have a different goal and desire sitting down to watch Fantasia than you would a normal narrative film. I will give it 7.5 out of 10. And I will read the back of the box, although this box is for both Fantasia and Fantasia 2000. I'll get around to watching the other one soon enough. But what it says: Walt Disney's animated musical masterpiece is an extravaganza of sight and sound. Now brilliantly restored for the first time ever in high definition, Blu-ray technology finally allows you to experience Fantasia and Fantasia 2000, the triumphant classic it inspired, the way Walt envisioned. Plus, for the first time ever on Blu-ray, experience the 2003. Okay, there's an extra short on here. Advertising the commentary. See the music come to life. Hear the pictures burst into song and experience the excitement that is Fantasia over and over again. I hate that when the Blu-ray is more advertising, do you know the features of Blu-ray? Than like the movie itself. I'm like, talk about the movie, don't talk about... We have a disc that's high definition. Yeah, I get it, it's Blu-ray. Anyways, I figured the best way to kind of go over the film at all is to point out, okay, so it's, you sit there and you see this sort of backlit orchestra pit with a burst of color occasionally as someone plays an instrument, and you have our host who's introducing each song and telling you what to expect. For every song, you are told before the song is played what to expect through the music and visuals. You are led through that. You are led through each song. And there are little jokes and skits through it, some of which, as a kid, I found boring. As an adult, I pay attention. I'm like, okay, and it helps me with understanding some of the stuff with the actual musical pieces. Takata and Fugue in D minor is our first song, our first piece. And as a kid, it was so boring. You're just watching the orchestra for a bit, and then it's weird, like, lines and shapes reminiscent of musical instruments in the sky. It's beautiful, it's just abstract. It goes from literal, watching the orchestra, to abstract. And definitely a weird one to begin with. It feels like it alone feels like this was not targeting children as the audience. Although it is 1940, I looked up. So maybe kids were different then. Then we get the Nutcracker suite. Nutcracker only in name is not present here. Going from scenes of fairies dancing, spreading the morning dew, to fungus and flowers and fish all dancing, and ending finally with the fairies' return, changing the seasons from summer into fall and fall into winter. I love it. I love it. It's probably a big reason why Nutcracker Suite is one that I know so well and have such a fondness for, is growing up with Fantasia. Then we get The Sorcerer's Apprentice, Mickey's appearance with, was it Yasned, the sorcerer, and that tale of getting the brooms to do the work for you, even though you can't control them to make them stop. Cautionary tale. But, classic. Wonderful. I feel like I like it more because of how much it means to, like, Disney. Like, I mean, for much of my youth, the hat, that Sorcerer's Apprentice hat, was the symbol of Disney's MGM Studios and later Disney's Hollywood Studios. Well, it has finally, I suppose, now returned to the Chinese theater that it once was. For the longest time, it was the hat, which was like, heck, for half the time, a pin trading station. Other times, like a shop. But they put it up there for some event and just left it there. And so it was the symbol of that park. And that park meant a lot to me. So things like that might be deeper ties. To why I enjoy that number, that song, than any. Then we get Rite of Spring, which I'd mentioned. That's the dinosaurs. It goes from taking the planet from primordial soup all the way through the extinction of the dinosaurs. Then we get Pastoral Symphony, which is the Mount Olympus with our centaurs and our Greek gods and all that. Beautiful, beautiful art in that number. Also, at times, little bits of it are like, oh, inspiration that later went on to be Hercules. We get Dance of the Hours, which is our dance of ostriches and hippos and elephants and alligators all doing ballet. And I don't know, it sticks in my mind. It's pretty. It's also hello Mata, hello Fada, here I am at Camp Granada. Like, that song is based on the same classical piece. So, I don't know. Now that I'm an adult and I know that song, it just crosses me. It pours through my mind as I listen to it. And when we finally finish with the pairing of Night on Bald Mountain going into Ave Maria. Night on Bald Mountain, of course, being the night of hell breaking loose, with Chernobog leading his forces of undead and demons, and then with the dawn, Ave Maria breaking through, sending Chernobog back down to the mountain, and peace coming across the village below. Ave Maria being a little almost unusual in that it is lyrical. I mean, it's like an opera, but it's still, vocalized, and that's unique compared to any of the others. And it's the last one, and it ends, and the piece ends. It ends the movie. No returning to the orchestra after that. It's a fun movie. It's a relaxing. It is a calming movie. It is an inspirational movie. It's a chance to sit and enjoy the music and the art. And it's a high culture piece, let's put it that way. But it's fun. I like it. I don't know if I would like it as much if it didn't have a lot of nostalgia for me as well, because it really does. Because it was one that I had on VHS as a kid. And I don't know, that seems weird to me. Just the difference in it from others, but it's animation and it's art and it's beautiful. Such a beautiful piece. They begin by calling it like a new form of entertainment. And I mean, shy of, say, 60 years later, when they did Fantasia 2000, I don't feel like there is any more of that. That's not a common form of entertainment. And I wish there was more like it. I would love Fantasia 2022 to be released and to just go get and to go sit in the theater and enjoy it, I would love that so much. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't. But I wish it would. Because it was a new form of entertainment. But it's one that hasn't shown up quite often enough for me. As Walt says, it truly is timeless. Oh, that's about it for me. I'm relax. Going tonight. It's getting late. It is a long movie. It is over 2 hours of sitting and watching the orchestra. But definitely one I wanted to check. It's been too long since I've seen. Thank you for joining me. Join me as my journey continues.